I should really write something down for intro sometime, but I really don't. So we'll just go with
We'll go with yeah, we're starting. Here you go. Good luck.
hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, Mayhem podcast. A podcast that has been running longer than most TV shows currently playing.
It's you sound you sound so nervous. You sound like this is our first podcast.
Fine, I can redo it. I'm not sure. I was trying to make it up.
No, that was good. You should keep it.
I'm going to let Chaotic take the intro this time.
My name's Chaotic, and my wonderful other host is
Mario.
I'm leaving. I quit. I quit the whole podcast.
It's Silver. Can't quit. You're the whole podcast.
No.
And everybody is tired today. Well, it's that time of year again.
Oh.
Snow. Hey, you got it close. You gotta add 2 more. But reversed.
Did we do our other snow creatures during snowy season?
No, we did not.
I was about to be like, I was like, I don't feel like that's not what we did.
We did the Yuki Ono and the Sarara Ono in like February when we had that weird snowstorm.
I do remember that.
Because we were supposed to do something else, but then it snowed really bad. So like, hey, let's do snow. You're just like, cool.
Cool. It's really chill to talk about. You're not laughing, but I'm laughing a lot.
Yeah, I had something to go back with that pun, but I just lost it. My brain got a little
because
brain
mine
freeze.
Was so bad.
Your pun gave me brain freeze.
Oh, and it still works because it's frozen. It was a freeze.
Mm-hmm.
It was a play on it. For any of you who don't understand these puns, it's a play on the cold weather.
You guys probably know the creatures because of the title, but Chaotic does not.
Nope.
Chaotic. Have you been to Iceland or want to go to Iceland?
I do want to go to Iceland.
Would you like to go around this time of year?
Yes. I feel like this is a trick question.
That sounded like there was a question mark at the end of that.
There is a question mark at the end of that because I'm questioning you, sir.
Well, if you were to go to Iceland around this time of year, you would meet our monsters, or at least a couple of them, because it's a holiday, Yule time, Christmassy, festive creatures.
Oh.
I use that in the plural sense, as in multiples. Can you guess how many? It's a whole family.
12.
You're close. 16. One kind of doesn't count, but...
One doesn't count? What is it, the runt? Like, why are you belittling the one? Why is the one not counting?
It's because there wasn't much info on him, besides that it was... Okay, so, just to give you the names of who we're doing. We're doing Grýla, or Grýla. We are doing the Yule Lads, and the Yule Cat.
Okay, I know Grýla. I actually am very fond of Gryla's lore. Okay. But I don't know any of the rest of that shit. So, I'm very excited. Wait, is Grýla the one that doesn't count?
No, it's Grýla's third husband.
I was about to say. Oh, well, no, fuck that guy. I agree. There's really only 15. Fuck that guy.
Her third husband, Lepaludi. I probably said that wrong, but
what a name.
He is known to be another child eater, troll, either super elderly or disabled, but always very extremely lazy.
Nice.
So,
yeah, gotta get rid of him. He's out. He's kicked out of the lore.
Out. That's pretty much all the lore it has to say about him. Is that pretty much just that, from what I've seen. I didn't actually look too deep into him himself, but... Which of the 3 topics would you like to start with?
My only request is that we do Grýla like last, because I want to learn about these 2 first, and then be able to input with Grýla.
Okay, we can do that. Then let's start with the family pet in some lore, as in, since most mythology is very open and changes throughout the times. So the Yule cat, Jólakötturinn in Icelandic, which is a monstrously huge black cat. Can you guess how?
Fantastic.
Can you guess how huge he is?
20 feet tall.
That's probably pretty close. They say he's about 2 stories tall, so it's like a Clifford the Big Red Dog size cat. With
yeah.
They say his claws are the size of full-size snowmobiles.
Just pictured him putting snowmobiles on.
That's how he gets around. He just, kind of like rollerblades.
Imagine fashioning huge-ass tennis rackets or snowshoes for him.
I would imagine he'd be okay. I don't think being 20 foot tall, being 2 stories tall, he'd have any issues moving through the snow. He's also said to be maybe a Norwegian forest cat. This possibly has to do something with, because Freya, her chariot? Not chariot. Yeah, it's chariot. It's a chariot. 2 wheels and you sit in it. Carriage.
Yeah. Well, a carriage is when you sit in. A chariot's the one you stand in. That's like in the Roman.
I wasn't sure what the Norse equivalent of the word chariot is. But yeah, it is pulled by 2 large Norwegian horse cats. So, the Yule cat, it is also sometimes seen depicted in artist's work as having small horns on its head. So you get a 2 story tall black Norwegian forest cat with horns. And it likes to come down and around Christmas time. Peeks in the windows during Christmas Eve to see which children have received new clothes for the year and who is wearing what. Because if your children or if you as a child are not receiving or did not receive any new clothes for the year, the Yule cat will come and gobble you whole. Before they eat you whole, sometimes they say in certain myths that he would eat your full Christmas dinner in front of you first.
In front of you?
Yes.
Wow.
That's pretty much all. They had some theories on how Jólakötturinn or the Yule cat came about. And is at that time in Iceland, the main export and work they dealt with was wool. And pretty much everybody in the family had to help out spinning the wool. They say if you were lazy and didn't get all your wool spun, then you wouldn't have enough to either eat with or receive new clothing. So it was kind of a way for the bosses and farm hands to kind of inspire their cause fear in their workers to get all their work done faster. Otherwise, they'd be eaten by this large black cat.
This one's like different.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to picture, at least.
And even during this time, sometimes the employers kind of paid their workers in wool because the wool was so sought after.
I mean, I could see why, but like greedy people, always greedy people in lore. Always.
I also imagine Icelandic winters would probably be pretty cold, being a little bit northern, not as north as Greenland.
Isn't it Iceland that is like the more green land, and Greenland's the one that's more ice, right?
Yes, because they didn't know what they were doing when they named them. Probably.
They did that to us on purpose. You cannot prove to me otherwise that they didn't sit down and be like, let's fuck everybody up. Let's just name them the opposite.
This kind of ties back in with Grýla and the Yule Lads because the Yule cat is their house pet. is what some say. Of these Yule Lads, there are currently 13 of them. There used to be a lot more. It used to be anywhere from like 20, 30, some people said like 65, 99. But it was all thanks to a certain author, poet, that kind of finalized that number 13, just like with the Yule Cat. Because Yule Cat had a bunch of different stories going on with it as well. But he kind of made it more fixed in his book that he wrote. The book name is called Jólakötturinn, or Christmas is Coming. The author's name is Johannes Kotlum. He was an author, poet, and a member of parliament.
Okay. So, like, renowned.
Yeah. And these kind of got set back a little earlier than most of our myths that we've talked about. Like 1746. Or no, it was before that. It was in 1932.
Oh, wow. That's not that long ago. Like, not when we sit down and think about it. Really not that long ago.
Yeah, that's when the Christmas is Coming came out, and everything was kind of more set in stone for how many Yule Lads there were and the connection with it. The earlier date, or 1746, is when the Icelandic government banned parents from telling any type of stories about the Yule Lads or Grýla.
So the 1932 one's just like, I guess, how do we know that one's more concrete than the earlier one?
The 1746 was the government saying that people were not allowed to tell stories about these.
So then the 1932 one was just like, you can suck my whole butt, and just did it anyways. I got you.
Pretty much. I think it might have changed after some time. I just didn't get the date down. So the Yule Lads, there's 13 of them. They all arrive on a different day and then they stay for 13 days. And just a little depiction of what the Yule Lads look like. They're all kind of they all look different. And I'll get into kind of how they look different. But they're all kind of short, long. The newer depiction of them have them in like Santa costumes and a long white beard. But the Icelandic government's trying to change it more back to the original. And they were horrible tricksters. They ate children. They knew which children were bad, which ones were messy. And they'd come and pull you out of your bed at night and take you to be eaten by Grýla.
Okay.
We'll start with the Yule Lad that arrives first. He comes on December 12th, which was from this recording's posting date 2 days ago, because I think we were going to post this on the 14th. His name is Sheepcoat Clod. What he does when he comes in there is he goes to your sheep shed and he tries to suckle your ewes, but he is very impaired and has a hard time doing this, as he has, depending on which story you're listening to or hear, either has 2 peg legs, like from the thighs down, or 2 really stiff knees. And that impairs him from suckling on ewes. Sheepcoat Clod arrives on December 12th, and then he leaves again on December 25th. So you guys deal with him for 13 days. Like all of them. The next day, along with Sheepcoat Clod, is his second brother, Gulligok. He likes to go into the shed along with Sheepcoat Clod, but instead of going after the ewes, he goes after your cow's milk.
Oh my god, what in the world?
He kind of waits and hides in the gully till you're gone. Then he runs over to your bucket of freshly milked milk and drinks all the foam off the top of it. Not even just the whole milk, it's just the foam, the milk foam.
Just the foam.
He comes on December 13th and leaves on December 26th. The next one arrives on December 14th, which would be today. And it's also very fitting because it's also Ruby's birthday.
Uh-huh.
This Yule Lad's name is Stubby.
Odd.
Stubby is just short. He is very short. But he is also a thief. He likes to steal all the food from your frying pan. Leave any of the crusty bits inside the pan. He comes and steals that. And maybe the pan. He leaves on December 27th. The next one is one you might recognize because it is my name in your Discord.
Oh.
The fourth to come is Spoon Licker. He arrives on December 15th. And can you guess what he likes to do?
Like spoons?
That is correct.
It was a wild guess. It could have gone any direction, you know?
Spoon Licker likes to come and lick your spoons and steal your spoons. It is said that he is extremely thin and malnourished due to his love of only eating and licking spoons.
If he licks my spoons, he better fucking take them. That's all I gotta say about it.
Just get one wooden spoon that has a big bite mark out of the side of it or something. He leaves on December 28th. The next brother, number 5, is called Pot Scraper or Pot Licker.
Oh,
he comes December 6th. So creative. Yes. There's also Swedish names, or not Swedish. I don't know why I want to say Swedish. There is Icelandic names for them that I cannot say. These are just their translations. He comes on the 16th and leaves on the 29th. Pot Licker likes to come and steal your unwashed pots, and he licks them clean. Does he put them back? You gotta deal with Yule Lads spit? Maybe.
Maybe.
Can you kind of get a trend? Can you guess who's next on the 6th day? Kind of working our way through the utensils.
Is it Oven Scraper?
Nope.
Is it Sink Scraper?
No. 3 strikes.
Is it a utensil?
It is a utensil.
Is it Fork Licker?
No. It's something that they use every day.
Something that's used every day, and it's a utensil? Cup.
Yeah.
It's a fucking cup licker, isn't it?
It's bigger than that, but it's about the same use.
You don't have to tell me.
Bowl Licker.
I'm leaving.
Bowl Licker likes to steal food from bowls that are hidden under your bed. Or out from under your bed. So he hides under your bed at night, eating all your midnight snacks that you keep in a bowl under there. He arrives on the 17th of December and leaves on the 30th. The next one, he arrives on the 18th, leaves on the 31st, and that is Door Slammer.
I know he ain't coming in my house.
Your friendly Yule lad that is pretending to be a poltergeist. He just comes in, slams your door in the middle of the night.
Better be paying bills to be slamming these doors.
He'll slam them during the day too, but he especially likes them during night, right when you're sleeping. The next one is Skur Gobbler. Have you ever had Skur?
No.
It is a Icelandic yogurt. And all he does is he really likes your Skur. So he'll either... Some say he comes and eats all your Skur you have, or he'll just come in and enjoy it with you.
What? Imagine just somebody popping up like, hey, I'm going to eat that with you. What if you don't have any Skur?
You might just bring some with you.
Oh, imagine he just shows up. He's like, hey.
He might just not show up at all. He might go to a different house. Skur Gobbler comes on the 19th and leaves on the January 1st. The next one. I'm sure you've heard someone be called this before. His name is Sausage Swiper.
Oh my God. Please. What? What?
He is the 9th of the siblings, and he loves to come and steal your sausage. But he doesn't just steal them the normal way, no. He like Mission Impossible hides in the rafters to steal your sausages as they're being smoked.
He like ninja steals your sausages.
Oh yeah. He leaves on January 2nd. The next one is your friendly neighborhood creeper. We have Window Peeper.
No, not no.
He likes to creep outside windows and steal the stuff that he sees inside. Either the stuff you get for the holidays or just stuff in general that he just seems to like. Whether he peeps through the windows just for stuff to steal or for other reasons, the world may never know.
Imagine just standing outside. What'd you get for Christmas?
He comes on December 24th and leaves January 3rd. The 11th brother. He's got the best smell of the group. His name is Door Sniffer. He has a huge nose, very large nose, and a love of leaf bread, which is a Icelandic, like, baked bread delicacy. Well, not really delicacy, but it might be. I'm not quite sure how you put delicacy. But anyways. Yeah, he just comes, smells. He can smell the leaf bread through doors.
What a power. What a power.
He comes on the 22nd and leaves on the 4th. The 12th one. We're getting closer to the Christmas now. He comes on December 23rd and leaves on January 5th. His name is like that of a supervillain, maybe. It is Meat Hook. What he does is he snatches up any meat that's been left outside, especially cooked lamb. He really likes cooked lamb. Sometimes it's ham, but he prefers the lamb.
No, you don't say. You know, like, as we continue on, I keep waiting for them to maybe get more creative, and it's just continuously proving me wrong.
Well, there's a reason kind of for these 13 in particular, but I'll let you see if you can figure it out here after the last one, who comes on December 24th. He loves following small children, but he's only after an item they carry, and that is Candle Beggar. He loves to follow.
Sorry, what?
It's Candle Beggar.
What is that? Explain that.
That's his name.
That's his name?
Yep, his name is Candle Beggar.
Okay, but what is he after that they carry?
Candles.
What? Children just be carrying candles everywhere? My kids sure as shit do not.
Well, think about it. Back in like the 1700s when there was no electricity, really.
Let them roam around in the dark.
Creepy things run around in the dark.
Exactly.
But he was after these candles because it is believed that they were a good snack. Because back in these days, candles were made out of like beef fat, tallow. So they were kind of edible. I think it'd probably clear out, but he comes on December 24th and leaves on the 6th. Then on the 25th, they just all kind of hang out, and then they start to leave. So, not only are you dealing with all these guys together on the 24th, because they don't leave till after Christmas, and they all just keep happening.
Yeah.
All your spoons are getting licked, your pots are getting licked, your candles have chunks missing out of them. Those are kind of the pranks they like to do to people. Any questions about them so far? Would you like to know kind of their theme?
Yes, I would.
They say that parents would tell these stories of the Yule Lads to children who were untidy and unclean. They kind of kept things messy. Because otherwise, or didn't do their chores and such. Because you got cows and ewes at the front, and you got all your utensils that need washed and cleaned and picked up, leaving around to attract them. That was kind of the far-reaching theory I heard. They also, before they all start coming down to these towns and such, they take their yearly bath. They only have one bath a year, and that is right before they come down. The newer kind of myths of the Yule Lads put them as more Santa Claus-like figures. Sometimes not doing quite as many of these pranks, mischievous acts, but instead they have children put shoes on their window seals, and If they have been good children, the Yule Lads would come and put candies in the shoe. And sometimes it's nice, parents would tell kids it's nice to put chairs next to the window seals so that when the Yule Lads come, they'd have an easier time getting to their shoe to put candy and stuff in them. Because they were like more gnome-sized. But if you are a naughty child, instead of being taken away by them, they would just leave a rotting potato in your shoe.
A rotting, not even just a potato, a rotting potato.
Yes, a whole rotting potato. Where they're getting all these rotting potatoes, I have no clue. Okay, that was kind of all I had on the Yule Lads. So the last one is the Yule Lads' mother, because the Yule Lads are the children of Grýla and her third husband, Lepaludi. So you wanted to discuss a little bit about Grýla? Do you know? You said you knew a little bit about her?
I do know a little bit about her. I know, like, a lot of the times she's used around kind of like all year, from what I understood, not just Christmas time, to kind of scare kids that don't listen, because she comes in the night and eats children that don't listen to their parents. And I know that there's like a lot of lore around her, and a lot of like the like media lore, which is of course seems to be all I ever know. But in a lot of the media lore, it says that she kind of like keeps the children's souls. Which I didn't know about the Yule Lads being hers. I did know that she kept children though. Like kind of like when we were discussing Baba Yaga and Huntress keeping the kids, it was kind of like she wasn't keeping them alive, but she like kept their souls and like kept them in different things and like used them when she would go up to like get or make deals otherwise. She would use them. So I knew a little bit about that, but it is really interesting to know she's tied to the Yule Lads. And now that you've mentioned it, I do recall there being an attachment there. It's been a long time since I've looked into anything Grýla, because I used to be really into it probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I just kind of researched lightly and then kind of dropped it because I just thought she was cool. So the most I know about her is that she's kind of like a big bad for kids that have been bad.
Yeah, that's very accurate from pretty much describing her and everything. Yeah, originally she was mainly pretty much everywhere for Big Bad. She's known either as a troll, a witch, a hag. There's one or two things I've seen where they say that Grýla is the first attempt of God to make humans, and it was so ugly and foul that he just banished her to Iceland.
Oh.
She was originally a beggar in the lore, from what I've seen, where she'd go around asking parents to give her their disobedient children, but you could kind of shoo her off with food or but just by chasing her away in general. Eventually, Grýla moved out of towns and started to live in a cave in the mountains, sometimes it's a volcanic cave, where she'd use the lava and the magma to cook as like a fire to boil the children and such that she would eat. But nowadays, she is more commonly connected to Christmas and used as a kind of scare method to keeping children behaving, like you said, or that she'd come down and take you. Grýla was a giant woman, a giantess. She ranged between 30 and 40 feet tall. She is described as having horns and hoofs and a large warty nose, with large ears that can touch her nose. She is sometimes seen to have 13 to 15 tails, with 100 sacks tied to each tail. Each sack can hold 15 to 20 disobedient children. How many children can Grýla have if she fills all her sacks? It's a math question.
Why are you going to ask? You think I'm good at this? You think I'm good at this?
No, but we're adults. We have calculators.
Do that.
So we'll just go with the max number of 15 tails times 100, because it's 100 per tail. So that's 1,500 bags she has. And she can fit 15 to 20 kids per bag, so he times that by 20. So Grýla can grab 30,000 children. Oh, sorry, 30,000 disobedient children. I think that's more than the population of Iceland.
These stories are so wild. And, like, the Yule Lads are so, like, lit. And then there's just Grýla, who's out here eating children, making me do math. So, like, my comments are just mostly, what the fuck?
Well, that's one description. Sometimes she is also seen to have up to 300 heads with 3 eyes apiece. Is also a common look for her. And sometimes instead of all the bags on her tails, she has a bag strapped to her thigh that she just kind of throws the children in. And as we kind of mentioned as well, Lepeludi, the lazy troll father of the Yule Lads, is her third husband. Her first two, there ain't very many stories about. It is mainly said that she either got bored with them and ate them, or drove them out, or it is not 100% sure, but it's possible that she had more children with them as well, and the Yule Lads are just the newest of them. And sometimes it's kind of a resemblance of Grýla to one of your favorite Christmas monsters, with the hoofs and the horns and the snacks. Kind of snacks for them. Children. Snagging.
Yeah, I was about to say earlier, when I was talking about her, that she really resembles Krampus. I think the only difference, and I don't think Krampus does it all year. I think he's just holiday season. But I'm pretty sure Grýla is all year. Like, I know she's attached to the Yule Lads and stuff, but everything I've always read is like an all year thing. Am I wrong on that?
No, she can do it all year. She's not pertained to the... It's just mainly now she's used more storytelling wise during the Christmas time, the holiday season.
Is there like a difference that makes her and Krampus like significantly different? Or are they just the same thing, copy and pasted, like, but in different lore?
I think they're different. We haven't talked about Krampus yet, so I haven't looked into him at all. But I didn't think Krampus actually ate the children or took so many at a time. We can talk about him next week if you want.
Yeah, I would love that.
Give our listeners something to look forward to.
I can even run that one if you.
Okay.
You always do all the talking. I'll give you breaks sometimes.
Just on Christmas?
Just for Christmas. Merry Christmas. It's your present.
But yeah, that's kind of all I had for the information spot about it. Should we roll on to the media? Okay, so media-wise, Grýla. She has been in God of War Ragnarok. It's pretty much all I have written down that I remember seeing. She was in God of War Ragnarok. You said you knew of her in other media sources?
The only actually most recent media source that I can recall her on is Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the newer one, the new Sabrina that's like made by the same creators as Riverdale and stuff.
Okay.
She's in that. They make a deal with Grýla, and Grýla has a bunch of kids with her when she shows up and stuff that are kind of like ghost children. And it was a really, really cool thing because they end up tricking Grýla, and of course Gryla's like gonna exact revenge for that, stuff like that. But her character was a very interesting, very powerful character to see in like a modern day setting, I guess.
Okay. I think she also has souls and stuff with her in God of War Ragnarok as well. I haven't played the game myself. I think from what I've seen, you actually play with Atreus, which is boy. And he is one who has to deal with her. Which is also interesting, having a child deal with Grýla. Now, I do have the 2 poems from Johannes or Kotlum here. I'm not sure if we can say them. Does the Icelandic copyright law allow us to or not? I don't know if that was a thing back in the day in 1932 or not. Should I say here or just post it to the book corner in Discord?
Post it to the book corner. That way it's an easily grabbable or seeable thing.
If you guys are interested in the poems about the Yule Lads and the Yule Cat, they shall be available on our Discord. Describes them well, and it also lists their Icelandic names. I don't know why I keep wanting to call them Scandinavian or Swedish. It's Icelandic. A lot of these creatures are still very much believed in Iceland today, so... Mayhem-wise, since these creatures are very much still believed today in Iceland and Icelandic culture, from what I've seen. Even Iceland's tourist websites talk about them. I think they would definitely cause trouble, especially Grýla, swiping kids and whatnot. I'm not I think the Yule Lads will have a little bit harder time because over in Iceland, I think they'd be more local to Iceland itself. I don't think they'd spread out or try to move because not everywhere has Skur, or they'd have to find country houses for the ewes and the milking, and also, but I think window people would. I think a couple of them would thrive, like with window peepers stealing things, and maybe all the lads that like to lick kitchen utensils and bowls and pans and pots, and I think they'd all be okay. I think they would have a hard time. I think the Yule Cat would probably be okay. As many as people love cats.
Yeah, I feel like it would be. I mean, everybody would probably think it was pretty cool. You know, I wouldn't put it past this to worship thing. I'm gonna be real. A giant cat, a giant black cat.
Yeah, and the Yule Cat doesn't even harm children as long as all the new children have clothes. So as long as the government or somebody's giving children clothes every year, the Yule Cat won't eat them. And they'd just be chill, sitting there. Worshipped like all cats, especially in Iceland where dogs are banned unless you have a special permit. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, but I think the people of Iceland would have the biggest issue with Grýla. I think anybody would. 30 feet tall.
For sure.
Snacking on disobedient children. I guess if they just gave her food, maybe, like in her original story, she'd be okay. That'd be a lot of food. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Grýla's number is 1-800 choke that child. So if anybody needs to call it, go ahead.
That is not a euphemism. Well, then we're wrapping up this a little bit longer episode, maybe, perhaps, with multiple creatures. This Yuletide family of children eaters. I would like to say special thanks to our Patreon patrons, Nuggies, Mondi, Thor, and Ruby, for being supporters as long as you have been. And
amazing.
It's been, we skipped a week, now my brain is completely fried. and I don't remember their normal outro, but we'll just, I think I usually ask Chaotic, any announcements for the coming week?
I do not have any announcements. We need some more substitutes for the Chaos by Daylight tourney in February. So if you'd be interested in that, please reach out to me or fill out the form. And other than that, we don't have anything crazy planned this month. No like tournaments or madness this month. So I just hope everybody enjoys their holidays and gets relaxes.
Yes, please relax for the holidays coming up. It's not quite the holidays yet, this episode, but better behave in case spoon liquor comes. Hide all your spoons. Chaotic with the outro.
Join us again next Monday on Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem, found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Anchor.fm. Silver and Chaotic talk about how monsters and myths came to be and how they would be received in modern-day society. Follow, like, and subscribe to support. Also find the podcast on Twitter and Discord with the links below to keep up to date with the newest merch and activity. Besides, who knows what mayhem we will get into next.
Roll the music. Do 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 do.